Hi everyone, I'm here to talk to you today about why to go to law school. Remember, this is not a philosophy degree, it's a professional school, and an expensive one at that. Really consider why you want to go, independent of what your parents want, what your career services representative thinks, what your cousin or sister did, or what your peers are doing. This is about you and your life. First, you should go to law school if you want to be a lawyer. You've done some research about what lawyers do all day, and you're inspired by that work. You know that the three main jobs of a lawyer are speaking, reading, and writing, with most of the emphasis on the last two, reading and writing. You will spend a lot of time reading and writing. You will also have clients. Your work will be guided by their agenda, not yours. Lawyers are service providers. We don't drive the cases. We facilitate other people's wants and needs, whether or not that involves going to court. You want to be front and center at the press conference? Run for office. But you don't need to go $300,000 into debt to do that. Second, you have some idea of the kind of lawyer you want to be. There's a perception and a reality here. The perception is that there are about 4 ways to be a lawyer. There's a Supreme Court litigator, there's a law professor, a big firm lawyer, and a legal aid or public defender. In reality, there are lots of different ways to be a lawyer. Solo practitioners are essentially small business owners. They might write wills, help buy or sell houses, or represent people in their criminal cases. In-house lawyers have to learn lots of different areas of the law, from torts to employment to copyright, and they have to learn how to manage executives and marketing people to ensure compliance with the law. Class action litigators manage huge volumes of information, and their cases can take years, often never seeing the inside of a courtroom. Public defenders and prosecutors are thinking on their feet in court every day, on the other hand, dealing with people from their communities and talking to judges. There are lots of ways to do this. So think about these going in. Do some research and do some shadowing. Talk to people in the field about what their day is like. See what inspires you and figure out what kind of a lawyer you want to be. After all, you'll be doing it nearly every day, nearly every week for the next few decades of your life. Third, you should have a specific issue area that you want to engage in. Ideally, this would be based on your past knowledge or experience. Maybe you love the business of sports and you want to help negotiate contracts between players' unions and teams. Perhaps you've worked in the policy arena before and you want to be a more effective lobbyist. Perhaps you've worked in the healthcare realm and you want to help people advocate for their rights under federal legislation. Or maybe you come from a family of immigrants and now you want to help others move their families to the U.S. Perhaps you already work in a sector where a JD is an asset and you want to return to where you were working before. Maybe you work in finance and you want to move up to the table for the big decisions in the negotiations. You want to work in university administration and you have to know how the law dictates your work. Maybe you want to start a startup or work for one, and you can ensure compliance and create contracts. As a sidebar, if working in an issue area is why you want to be a lawyer, take a moment to think whether you can engage in this space without sacrificing the time and money to go to law school. Can you become a registered lobbyist? Take the patent bar and be a patent agent instead of a patent attorney? Can you be an agent for a sports agency or do communications for a great nonprofit? Think about all of this. Next, you should go to law school only if you know how you're going to pay for it. Are you going to get loans from the federal government? Are you going to rely on scholarships or borrow from your family? If you're going to go into that much debt, consider how it will constrain your future choices. If you take out $300,000 in loans, you might be paying off $2,500 a month for the next few decades. Are you going to be able to work in the area you want with that hanging over your head? Finally, you should go to law school only if you have a plan. Law school is stressful, and as I'll discuss in a different video, can take its toll on your mental health. Knowing why you're there is critical to keeping things in perspective and therefore keeping you healthy. Why shouldn't you go to law school? You shouldn't go to law school because you want to get rich. To get rich, you're better off with engineering, an MBA, or an economics degree. Yes, the average salary is high, about $130,000, but that's an average. Most people end up at the top or the bottom. In 2014, half of JDs earned salaries in the $40,000 to $65,000 range. Alternatively, 17% of graduates made many times more, approximately $160,000 a year. Think about that, though. To make serious cash straight out of law school, there's less than a 20% chance. If you don't hit the jackpot, your most likely outcome is a $20 to $30 hourly wage. Don't go to law school because your mom or dad went to law school and they were pretty happy with their career. It is a fundamentally different profession right now. It used to be that you could go to law school, pay off your debt in the first couple of years, and stay with your law firm for 30 or 40 years, meanwhile becoming a partner and eventually just coming in to read the paper and retire in style. That's simply not true anymore. Only about 1 in 3 make partner at a big law firm. In small firms, about half make partner, but that average salary is $80,000 or $90,000 a year, not the kind of money that gets you a private plane. Don't go to law school because you don't know what else to do. There are lots of great ways to figure out what you want to do. Buy a self-help book or take some time off to think. There are lots of ways to stave off boredom that don't require 3 years of your life and $300,000. Don't go to law school just because your LSAT was pretty good. Congratulations, you test well, but law school is almost nothing like the LSAT, and law school tests are not multiple choice. Don't go to law school because people have always told you you're good at arguing. That might be true, but you can do that in lots of professions. Look into being a debt collector or an insurance customer service agent. All this being said, the law is a flexible career if you do it right. If you want it to be flexible, you have to stay flexible. You need to consciously build skills that are transferable to where you want to go. Being in the law allows you to be around smart people all day, every day. It's pretty great. It allows you to solve problems in creative ways. It allows you to be an asset to your company or organization. It allows you to stand up for people without representation. It allows you to help make good laws or make a difference in the world. And along the way, hopefully, it will help you make a decent living. So as you can see, there are lots of great reasons to go to law school, but also plenty of great reasons not to. Spend some time thinking about these before committing.